Okay, so tonight's cooking class is Meals in a Flash. We decided to run this class because people's lives have gone back to some sort of normality. Of late, we barely hear about COVID anymore. So a lot of people have started to go back into the office and not working from home so much. So life has become a little bit busier. So we want to share with you some recipes that we love that we cook for our families that are just quick and easy, save us a lot of time, and can have a meal on the table in definitely under 20, 30 minutes. Now, a great tool that you have to help you save time during the week is menu planning. So I'm a big believer in menu planning. It's not only going to save you time, but it also saves you money, because you can look at what's in season, what's on special for that week, and you can menu plan around that as well. And also, it'll save you time because you know exactly what you're going to cook. So come that day, you just come to the Thermomix. Guided cooking is awesome for that. And you don't have to run to the shops to grab this or that ingredient and probably get it more expensive. So with Cookie Do, you can create a shopping list for you, and you can even send that shopping list to Woolworths. So if you haven't seen that functionality that Cookie Do has, check it out because it's really cool and it saves you a lot of time. If you don't know how to use Cookie Do very well, if you're new to Thermomix and you haven't used it very much yet, I do have a recording on our YouTube channel that shows exactly how Cookie Do works. That recording was done probably a year ago, so it doesn't have the new functions of creating your own recipes on Cookie Do, but it does have the meal planning side of it on there. So you'll be able to get some tips or speak to your consultant. We're really happy to run sessions with you, one-on-one sessions to show you how to use Cookie Do. And a lot of consultants are doing these like online group sessions with their customers to show them how to save time in the kitchen by meal planning and with Cookie Do. So we want to show you a few recipes today. So I'm going to start off with showing you sweet and sour pork. Before I start as well, if this is your first time joining, my name is Sandra Philippe and I'm team leader for a Thermomix team in Southwest Sydney. And our team is called the Blade Runners. And I've got a couple of my consultants on here tonight to help present their favourite dishes. So I've got Ashley, Helen, and Amanda who are joining us tonight. So you'll get to meet them when they present their dishes. So thanks again, guys, for helping out with this class. I'm going to start off with the sweet and sour pork. We love Chinese in this house, and Chinese takeaway can be really expensive, but I'm going to show you how quickly it is to whip up this dish, and it's so yum. Ashley's going to show us an easy satay chicken, and just the word easy will tell you a lot about that recipe. Helen is going to show us a stir-fry beef bowl, so that's one of her husband's favourites. And Amanda's going to show us a vegetarian dish, a Tarka Dal. So I've actually never tried that one. That looks delicious. And I'm going to talk to you about two other dishes that I couldn't fit into tonight's class. So a tarte, I'm going to try and say this, Tarte Bourguignonne. It's French and it's here in front of me, and I'll, because the family have already tucked into it, so I'll talk about that later. And also a no rise wholemeal pizza. So one of those pizza bases that you can just whip up and chuck it in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to start with the sweet and sour pork ribs. So I've got the pork ribs here. So this was a rack, or what do you call it? A slab of ribs. And I asked the butcher to cut it lengthwise twice. So he cut it into 3 pieces. So then you get 3 long pieces. And if you saw me before the class started, I had to cut them into little pieces. So that's what you need to do for this dish, and the butcher's quite happy to do that. And you do need a butcher to do it because it is cutting through bone, and my knives wouldn't do it. So yeah, so let me just grab the recipe here. So I'm just going to start cooking. Here we go. So I'm just going to add some vegetable oil, so just 15 grams of vegetable oil. I've got some in here. This is a little thing I take to demos because I didn't have any more vegetable oil at home. So it's only 15 grams, and some fresh ginger. So 15 grams of fresh ginger. And we're just going to chop that up. Whoops. So for 3 minutes. Oh, hang on. What's it doing? Did I skip a step? Hang on. Oh, it says thinly sliced, but you know what? I'm going to chop it. I didn't thinly slice it. So just 5 seconds. Speed 5 will chop it. And then I am going to add the spare ribs. So I just chop that up like that. And that's all you need for this recipe. You can saute it first, but I'm going to skip that step because honestly, you don't need to do it if you want to be really quick. 500 grams of pork ribs, and yeah, it does have all that bone, and it's going to make noise. Let me just wash my hands. When it's cooking, it's going to make a lot of clonking noise, but it's worth it, and they don't fall apart. So, and then all we do is throw in the ingredients. So now this is rock sugar, and you can get these from Coles and Woolies now in the Asian section. Now it says to put 60 grams. Now this is what rock sugar looks like. Now, please don't try and mill this in your Thermomix bowl because you will dent the bowl. Not even a hammer breaks this apart. I've tried, but it does melt. So, I'm just going to add in 60 grams. So you do need to find, whatever the recipe says, you need to find pieces that total whatever the amount says, because you can't break them. You literally can't. So please, yeah, don't try and mill them in your Thermomix. Chinese rice wine, so it's a Shaoxing. It looks like this. Again, you can also get it from Woolies, and all you need is 30 grams. A bit over, doesn't matter. Some 60 grams of rice wine vinegar. There we go. 60 grams. So this makes a lovely sauce with all these ingredients.
So,
and so you will need.
Can you use palm sugar?
You can use brown sugar instead of the recipe actually says if you don't have the rock sugar, just use brown sugar. Yeah, and most of you would have brown sugar at home. And now this makes a delicious sauce. So you want something to clean up the sauce. So make sure you've got some bread to go with this. And then all you do is just pop the simmering basket on. And I'm going to get this going in the Thermomix behind me because it is going to be a bit noisy. So you pop the simmering basket, and this is just going to avoid splatter, but it just lets all that, releases all that steam. And all it takes is 22 minutes on 100 degrees on speed 1. That's all it is. So yeah, it is noisy. So I'm going to put in the Thermomix behind me. Whilst I do that, we're going to go to, where are we going? Hang on. To Ashley, who's going to show us the easy satay chicken. Over to you, Ashley.
Hi, everybody. So this is just a cookie dough recipe. With that bit closer so you can see. We're starting with a heap of spices and we're going to mill them. I've pre-measured them. So I just have my set of spices here. So we have half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, a teaspoon of coriander seeds, a tablespoon of ground turmeric. So that's all in here, and we're going to mill that.
It's not on. We only can see you.
So they're still relatively whole, but they're all broken up and that smells amazing now. We're now adding ginger and garlic. So it said a 2 centimeter piece of garlic, ginger, and it was 5 cloves of garlic. So I've got that here. And it was 1 to 2 dried chilies, fresh de-seeded chilies. My children won't eat it if I put chili in it, so I'm actually going to leave those out. I think all the other spices will create enough flavour. And we're mixing again for 30 seconds. Okay.
These are also spice mixes that you can have pre-made. If satay chicken is something that you do often, if you have them pre-made in like little jars, it's time that you can save doing that and measuring it out for a midweek meal.
So that's all mixed and chopped there. Adding the rest of the sauce ingredients. So it's 2 tablespoons of tamari, 2 tablespoons of the tamari soy sauce.
That looks good.
1 tablespoon of the tamarind paste. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce.
I'll come in a minute. I'm coming in a minute.
Tablespoon of dark brown sugar. And 70-gram can of coconut cream.
What? For what?
And 60 grams of peanut butter. So that's going to cook the sauce now for 3 minutes on 90 degrees. And then we'll be adding rice, chicken, and stir-fry veg.
Ashley, do you think that sauce component, if this is something that your family really loves, is a sauce that you could have pre-made and then just have it frozen, for instance?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Like you could double the sauce portion and then just, have that pre-made and then just divide that portion, have it frozen, and then it's ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I think that would work. Yeah. All right. Well, whilst that's sauteing, we're going to move over to Helen, who's going to show us a stir-fry beef bowl. You there, Helen? I actually didn't see Helen on. Oh, there she is. You there?
Am I
There
here?
you go.
Can you hear me? Can you see my bench? Because I had a meltdown with my iPad.
Okay, you just need to lower it a bit so we can see the Thermomix.
Hang on. Is that better?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right, so I love doing this stir fry beef bowl because you can extend it and make it for a lot of people. You can make it for one person, you can make it for two people. So what I did, I am making it with a kilo of beef instead of 500 grams. And I have marinated it because it had to be marinated beforehand. So what I've done is put a kilo of beef, and the way it cooks quicker is if you cut it thin, it cooks faster. So I've marinated it with soy sauce, oyster sauce, corn flour, brown sugar, and chili flakes, and some pepper. And then you add, you just stir it and leave it to the side. So when it comes to cooking them, I'm actually going to repeat that step twice. So what we do now, I've got my rice. I've weighed my rice. So we're using 300 grams of basmati rice, and it's been rinsed. So we just put a litre of water in here. So this is cooking. We're using the varoma with it. So it's layered cooking the rice at the same time with the veggies. And just to cheat a little bit, I did heat my water up. I love cheating when it comes to cooking. We put our rice in there, and then lid goes on. Now in the varoma, you always put your hard vegetables on the bottom first. So I've sliced my carrots into matchsticks, and they'll go at the bottom of the bowl. And I can also put, they didn't have tin corn spears at Coles today, so I bought fresh ones, but they're a bit thick. So I'm going to put them at the bottom too, and just make sure there's some holes free there. And I did, so I've doubled the meat to a kilo, doubled the sauces, but the veggies I kept pretty much the same. And then in the tray, you put the capsicum, which is also sliced up into julienne. Now, it always tells you that when it comes to Chinese cooking, you prep first. You have everything ready to go because Chinese cooking is so fast. And then I've got the florets, the broccoli florets to go on top there, like so. A lot of people are scared of cooking with the varoma, and I don't know why, because it just extends your meal so much. So that's there, ready to go on there, on there. And done that. We've done that. See, and then we're going to cook them for 10 minutes. So it's on speed on the varoma. So that's neat for the
Okay.
time.
All right, Helen, whilst that happens, we're just going to move back to Ashley because I think she'd be ready for her next step. Are your 3 minutes up, Ashley?
Yes, they are. So after that, we have blended it for 30 seconds on speed 10. And we've ended up with this beautiful brown satay sauce. It smells amazing. So the next step is we're going to transfer this to a thermoserver, and we're going to cook our rice, our chicken, and our veg.
Yeah. Oh. That smells nice, Mum.
I love it.
Sorry.
Your kids are excited for dinner.
Yes, they are.
Sandra, I think you might have to mute me because I can't mute myself.
Okay.
Next step is to insert your simmering basket, weigh your rice, and rinse out your rice. I've already done this. So it was 400 grams of jasmine rice, well rinsed. I've done all that. So that's my rice all ready to go. We're adding 120 grams of water.
Oh, nice. What is that hot water?
I have not rinsed the bowl, so all of this leftover sauce is going to flavour the rice.
That is hot. Then we will put very hot. Bubble. Bubble. Are you sure that's gonna work?
So we've got
So,
One
so
Tarka
basically,
fry.
Ashley, but so
Yes.
yeah, now keep going. So basically, your dish is you make the sauce first, and then it's layered cooking with the rice and the veggies and the chicken,
yes.
and that's all it is. How easy is
Yes.
that?
Yep. So we're putting our rice in there with the water. We're putting our lid on. And in our aroma, so we have 600 grams of diced chicken in the bottom dish, and it's 480 grams of veggies of choice. There is a list of veggies there. I've literally grabbed a frozen stir fry packet out of my freezer because that's just what I had. And that's going on the top.
Well, cool, yummy. Little corn is so bad.
Would you need to cook it longer because it's frozen? Or
Look,
roughly the
I
same?
don't think so because it's all
Oh,
it's all chopped fairly small already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think so. I mean, if you prefer them quite cooked, you could always put it on for a couple more minutes, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right.
Okay. All right. All right. So
So
that's
this
going to
is
cook for, I don't know,
10
probably
10 minutes on Veroma.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, all right. Well, we'll come back to you when that's done. Helen, when do I need to come back to you? Oh, after 10 minutes. Okay, so we can go over to Amanda, who's going to show us Tarka Dal. Over to you, Amanda.
No worries. Hi, guys. All right. Can you see me okay? Cool.
Yep, perfect.
All right. So, as Andrew said, I'm making the Tarka Dal. Now, it is an Indian dish, and it's based on lentils, and it is an absolute staple in our house. We have it at least once a week, and it's so quick and easy. So, also, what you make with this recipe from Cookadoo is a coriander chutney. Now, I know that could be some people's worst nightmare, but it is absolutely divine, and it's so quick. So that's the first step. So I literally have 3 bunches of coriander, and you put stalks and everything in. So I even use the stalks. It says 120 grams. We love this in my house, so I go 3 bunches. Yes, it's very cool. Okay. All right, I'm like double what it says, but that's all right. And then 50 grams of long green. I use red because that's what I had. Chilies. I've just chopped them up, so I'll put them in. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, I never measure. I just squeeze. I give my lemons a really good roll, and then I squeeze them. Another tip as well, I buy my lemons from the Odd Bunch in Woolworths. So they're about $2.50, and these are beautiful. I get about 6 or 7 of them for that price. On the Odd Bunch section, I also get my garlic from there as well. So that's always a bit cheaper too. And this dish uses a lot of lemon. So, all right, 50 grams of olive oil. Pour that in. Okay. And then a teaspoon of salt. Now, I think we love it really salty, and it is like a, like this. Estimate that, to be honest, but you can measure it if you don't. Well, you should measure it if you're not a real salt lover. That's going to be 30 seconds. Because there's a fair bit in there, I'm going to go the whole 30 seconds.
Hey, Catherine, I just saw your message on chat. Yes, it's called the Easy Satay Chicken on Cookie Dough. That's the one. I'll send everyone a link to all the recipes that we talk about tonight. You'll receive an email tomorrow with the link and also the recording that you can share with your friends as well. Friends who have a Thermomix or are thinking about one, you can send them the recording as well. Sorry, Amanda.
That's all right. I just want to show you, this light here is terrible. Sorry. I don't know if that's any better. But that's just what all that coriander came out like. Probably not the best view of it. So it just says to give it another quick go. And it's another 30. Oh, this is another minute, but I don't give it that long. I'm going to skip that in a second because it really doesn't need it.
Yeah, Catherine, you know it's the winner when the kids are happy for dinner, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to skip it. I'll do that other minute later if I need it. So that's your chutney ready to go. Done. Okay. So next, I'm just going to get a new bowl. The joys of having extra bowls. Don't need to wash that one. So now we do 250 grams of red lentils. I have skipped this step and I have already just done it. Now all you do is measure it using your scales. You boil the kettle. You pour over water till it's about this much off the top of it. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Strain it through your basket. I always give them a rinse because I just like to rinse them. And they're ready to go. Okay, so we've done that step already, so I'm just going to skip that one. Now the next is 2 tablespoons of ghee. You can make ghee in the Thermomix. I do buy it because we always have lots of Indian spices. So I'll put 2 tablespoons.
And it's so easy to make, guys. All you need is half a kilo of butter. You just buy the cheapo butter from Coles or Woolies, and then you just cook it for like 2 hours, and you've got ghee. It's amazing.
Much, much cheaper than buying it in the jar.
Yeah, half a kilo of butter is $6 now, so that's how much it'll cost you for a ghee. Yeah.
I think this jar cost me about 15. So
oh my gosh, yeah. So save a lot of money making your own. If you don't have ghee, I'm thinking you could just use olive oil, yeah.
No,
or butter.
No, to be honest with you, I have done it with butter and it's missing a lot of flavour.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Okay.
It is one of those dishes that the ghee actually adds the flavour to it. So
okay. So you have to have the ghee.
Because I suppose maybe because I'm used to it as well. The flavour, I go, oh, not quite there. But if you're new to it, you might not notice it. But I would, if you could, try and get the ghee. Now it says 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds. I love to go overboard on cumin. So that's what we like. That's what we like. So please stick to the recipe first time around and see what you like. All right, now that's just going to go on aroma on speed 1 for 5 minutes. So if you want to go to someone else, Sandra.
Okay. All right, no worries. So I think Ashley's and Helen's dishes are still cooking because they took 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk to you about what I made just before tonight's class. I was going to present it, but I was really worried about time, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew. So I pre-made this, which this is a family favorite. It's the Tarte Bourguignonne. I don't even know how to say it. I'll send you the link on Cookie Dough. My daughter says it tastes like lasagna in a tart. Now, it's really easy. Even make your own pastry. But what I love about this recipe is that you make the pastry, then you roll it out. You don't need to wash the bowl, and then you chop up some onion and garlic. The recipe doesn't say to put garlic, but I always put the two together. Then you just saute the onion and the garlic, and you put it aside. And then you chuck in your mincemeat in the bowl, again, without washing the bowl. Chuck in the mincemeat. And it's just very simple ingredients. It's a mincemeat, salt, pepper. I do add a bit of our vegetable stock. I also add a tablespoon of tomato paste and just some mixed herbs, the Italian mixed herbs. And so that's the only changes I make to the recipe. And then it cooks that mincemeat with the tomato paste and the herbs and all that, cooks it. Whilst it's cooking, you've got the tart base just in the oven, like blind baking. You can put some pie weights on it or some like beans or And so you blind bake it. And then once it's blind baked, then you just assemble it. So on the bottom of the pie base, you put the onion that was sauteed, and then you put the minced meat, and then you put a layer of bechamel that you make as well. So whilst and the bechamel only takes like 6 minutes because it's only, I think, 400 grams of milk. So it's really quick. And then you pop some grated cheese on top and it goes in the oven and it comes out looking like this. And after this is done and you've only got this one bowl to wash, which I love. It's boom, 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 done. And it's absolutely delicious and minimal ingredients. That's all it is. So this is a great midweek meal and it makes a lot. So the family has already tucked into it. And it makes heaps. So we're a family of 5 and we'll have some left over for tomorrow. And another one I wanted to share with you, which this was a happy find on Cookie Doo. It's called the No Rise Wholemeal Pizza. So you know how sometimes, I don't know, like this has happened to me. It's like, I want to make pizza, but last minute decision. We're going to make pizza. Pizza's great when you've got leftover cold cut meats in the fridge or leftover roast or leftover chicken. You can just chuck it on a pizza with some cheese and chuck it in the oven. But sometimes you don't have time to let the pizza rise, right? So this one is called a no-rise pizza base and it's made with wholemeal bread. So if you like thin and crispy, this is great. And it doesn't need any rising time. It just goes in the oven. So you cook it for 5 minutes, which is what I've done here. And then what you can do, you can freeze it and have it ready to go. Or then this will be ready now for me to put my toppings on and cook it. So this is another great quick recipe that I loved that I found on Cookie Doo. And I love wholemeal and I love thin and crispy. So this was perfect. So I'll send you the link to that one. And whilst I'm talking, my pork ribs are done. Guys, if anyone is ready for their dish, let me know. I don't know if Helen or Ashley's ready. All right, so these are done. I'm going to just grab a bowl to put them in so you can see what they look like. Now, if you have just got one Thermomix, which I'm assuming would be most of you, you could have rice going in your rice cooker. That's one of the things I didn't get rid of, which is my rice cooker, because I love, it cooks rice perfectly whilst the Thermomix is doing something else. So, and then you can have rice in your thermoserver. It just keeps it nice and warm whilst this is cooking. But I'll show you what this looks like. Now, because it's got that rock sugar, the sauce comes out nice and thick. And so this with rice is so yum. So there you go. And you could double this recipe, by the way, if you wanted to. You could add more. So now that meat is falling off the bone and I can't tell you how delicious that smells. I'm really holding back. I don't know if you guys saw, but I tried to hide it. But I think when Amanda was presenting, I was eating this because I just can't help myself. And I'm supposed to be on a diet. I shouldn't be having this, but it's so yum. You've got to try it. All right, so that's my dishes, and yeah, definitely try the sweet and sour pork. Are you ready to go, Amanda?
Sorry,
Go for it.
Talk over you.
No, go for it. I'm just going to wait for this to cool down, and I'm going to have some.
Sorry, okay.
You right? Yeah.
Ready. Okay, so now the ghee and the coriander seeds are done. So that's just fried that up. Okay, so we're going to put the ghee into our thermoserver, and because the thermoserver will keep it hot, it will stay warm when we put the dal in. Okay, so that's done. Put a lid on that. Put that aside. Okay, now for this dal. So 20 fresh curry leaves. Another tip with the curry leaves is I freeze them, keep a big bag of them in the freezer from my mother-in-law's tree. And when I want to use them, I take a stick out. And what I do is I just peel it off, put it in the bowl with a bit of water, and they're already defrosted. So they also go in with your ghee. Okay, so we're going to skip that. So put them in, and they're going to set aside, okay? So now for the actual dal. So it says 2 cloves of garlic. I've got a few more. I'll put them in. 1 fresh chili again. These ones aren't that hot. I'm not a huge chili fan, but I think they're just enough spice. 1 piece of fresh ginger. I cut up a little bit extra because later on I asked for another piece and I don't find it gets cut up enough, so I do it all now. So it's probably about 2 centimeters worth of ginger. And if Tina's price is right, you can get it for $1.90 a kilo in Narella. That's amazing. Going there first thing. So that's going to chop up now. Mix. Strong on the eyes. Now we'll need another mix because that is full. We're going to speed 7. You got a good chop. 20 seconds. You can actually hear when it's done. You can hear it stop chopping. So I'm going to keep moving on. Beautiful. All right. Now 600 grams of water. A kettle, just plain water. It doesn't need to be boiled. That is boiled because I boiled it for the lentils. Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt. Where's my salt? Again, I'm just going to guess that maybe the first time around, I would suggest you. Oh, that's way too much. First time around, I would suggest measuring. You know how you like it. Okay, so it says 200 grams of fresh tomatoes. Now I use my old tomatoes, but they're just left over the fridge and stuff. If I don't have anything, I use tin tomatoes. Much cheaper. Always got tin tomatoes in there. And because it's only 200 grams, I use it twice. I get 2 out of it, okay? So 200. You could probably put the whole can in really, but I haven't tried that, so I won't do it tonight. Another centimetre of ginger. Forget it, we've already put it in. And your lentils, which are reserved soaked lentils, ready to go. If you go to the Indian section in your Woolworths or your Coles as well, the lentils are actually cheaper than they are down the soup aisle. Ooh, don't drop that in, it's not supposed to go in. Okay. And then we're going to put the lid on. And that's going to cook for 15 minutes. That's it.
So, Amanda, I've never made this before, but in regards to the chutney, do you just put a dollop on top, the coriander chutney?
At the end, it asks you to put a couple of tablespoons into it. And then the rest you serve on the side. So you have your rice, your chutney, and your dal together.
Oh, okay.
And if you do like coriander, it is amazing. Coriander and lemon, it's really refreshing.
Yum.
Yeah, I definitely suggest.
Okay.
Don't go put a lot of coriander on. It's beautiful.
Another really great recipe with lentils is that Liam used to love it when he was little. He doesn't now because it's just become a fuss pot, which is
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, go for it.
Only because I'm going to get started with my meat. So
yeah, go for it. Yeah. Go for it.
My rice is cooked and I've put it in the thermo server. The veggies are cooked and I've put them in the thermo server. So look how many veggies I cooked. It's full. And it shows you now, if you've got a TM6, it shows you on there a video how to remove your simmering basket. So if you're not confident on how to remove your simmering basket with a spatula, watch the video. It's quite easy. So now I've just dried the bowl because it was only water. I didn't need to wash it. So I've just dried the bowl. And because I've doubled my meat, I've actually put 2 teaspoons of sesame oil in there. And I've put 3 cloves of garlic and two lots of 3 centimeter ginger. And I'm just going to cook that one. I chop it up. I've lost my measuring cup. And we're just going to chop them up for 3 seconds. When you're chopping the glide board, has everyone seen the glide board? I'll show you how the glide board moves in a minute. So we're going to cook that for 2 minutes 30. So the glide board, can you see it if I lift it and you just move it around like so? And you can get that as a host reward this month. So I'm cooking that for 2 minutes now, Sandra, if you want to keep going with your chat.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Ashley, are you ready, or is yours still cooking?
So the next step was to give the chicken a stir and chuck it on for another 10 minutes. So it's got 1:40 left.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, I was just saying the other dal recipe was yeah, I think it's called lentils with cauliflower. And again, it's similar to what Amanda was doing, and it's so delicious that my little child used to love it, but now he doesn't because he hates everything anyway. But it is a really yummy dish. So look that one up as well. I think it's called lentils with cauliflower. I can't remember. But yeah, I was actually looking it up today. I had a friend mention it, so that was a coincidence.
Can I just say as well, Sandra, with this dal, another thing, if you don't want to just have it on its own, that we have with it, which sounds disgusting, but it's really nice, is tin tuna. So we get Serena tuna, and then you put some onion in it, have it with the dal, rice, chutney, have it all together as a meal. It's really nice.
Really? Tuna?
Yeah, honestly.
So how did you come across that? What made you think of trying with tuna?
My husband is Fijian Indian, and they're big on tuna and rice. Like they'll eat tuna and rice and anything with rice, really. I personally was like, what? Who eats that? And then once you put it together, it's amazing, and we eat it all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, so a quick meal. So just a couple of tins of tuna for the family. Put some onion in it. They'll eat onion. Put it with your dal, your chutney. Put it all together, and it's beautiful.
Interesting.
Really,
that actually sounds really young because I love tuna.
is.
Yeah. Well, whilst you guys were all talking, I've actually put more pork going in the Thermomix because I've already had a few. I burnt my tongue because it's that yummy and I couldn't wait for it to cool down. My goodness. But yeah. All right. So we're just waiting on some things to cook. Yeah. So I want to talk to you about the glide board. So I've got one here too. And I was honestly one of those people, I don't need that. I don't need a glide board. That's just, something else that I need to clean. But I actually got it, like as a consultant, I got it for half price because it was an incentive they had out for consultants. And so, yeah, rather than getting it for $150, I got it for $75. Yeah.
Just about my garlic and ginger has cooked in there. It smells absolutely divine. So because I'm adding a kilo of beef, I'm going to weigh in 600 grams. It was 1,200 grams actually. I'm going to put 600 grams in there now to cook for 7 minutes. And normally I would cook the vegetables and rice in the Thermomix, and at the same time stir fry my meat on the cooktop, so that way they both finish at the same time. But this way I'm showing you how you can actually do it in the Thermomix. I'll just weigh up 600 grams. So this has got the oyster sauce, it's got the soy sauce, corn flour, sugar. What are we up to? 5. And I don't want to put all of it in at the same time because it will more stew it rather than fry it. So I prefer to cook it halfway. I've cooked first lot for 7 minutes and then 5 minutes, sorry, and then come back and do the second lot. So you've got 5 minutes at the moment.
All right, thanks, Ellie. I was just telling everyone about the glide boards. Yeah, we got it as a consultant incentive. So as consultants, we were able to get it for half price. But you as customers, can you believe that you can get it cheaper than us just by hosting a demo? Just by hosting, that's all it is. You can get it for $50, and they're in the mix shop for $150. at first I thought, oh, that's a bit steep, but TM Essentials, who've been selling glide boards for quite some time, also sell them for the same price. So they're within their price
Can I tell you
range.
on that one? Can I tell you
Yeah.
on that one? My daughter bought the TM Essentials glide board.
Yeah.
She rang me and said her scales weren't working. So I went over there and had a look, and their little rings that the rubber feet are supposed to sit on, they've got to sit exactly on the circles. Also, the feet, they're rubber feet, so you can't actually glide it. You've got to still lift it. So she's going to actually ring them up and tell them she wants to send it back because it's not what she wants.
Oh, okay.
You can't glide it. It's got rubber feet at the bottom.
Yeah, you can't. So this one you can actually glide. So this is better than what's, the TM Essentials one. It weighs a ton. It's really heavy. So what I have found is when my Thermomix is on top of it, it doesn't, when it's kneading, you know how a Thermomix can do a little dance? When it's on the glide board, it doesn't move. It's fantastic. But the glide board, what it has, it's got the feet, the rubber feet, so it doesn't move anywhere. But it's got these extra bits here, which allows you to glide. So now my bench here is wide, and I've got the Thermomix on the corner right on the edge. And I always had to lift it like this to bring it when I wanted to use it. And now with the glide board, so I positioned the feet perfectly on the 3 little dots, and it's quite easy to do it. And I'll show you how easy it is to glide. So can you see that? It is just, and I can just do this without any effort at all. And I can glide it all over the bench without having to lift it up. So I'll be honest, I never thought I would love the glide board as much as I do, because I thought it would just be another one of those TM Essential ones. But I just love how I can do this. It's so easy. But yeah, like you can get it for $50, which is even cheaper than what us consultants were able to get it for, just by hosting a demo. The demo can be face-to-face, it can be online, it can be on Zoom. Have a chat to your consultant. If you don't have a consultant, let me know, because I can put you in touch with Helen, Ashley, or Amanda, and they can do a demo for you. You just need to invite a couple of friends. They don't need to buy. You don't need to think of friends who are going to buy a Thermomix. But, if they do buy, you get the glider board for free. So have a think of friends who you think may benefit from having a Thermomix. Don't think about whether they could buy one. Let them make that decision for themselves. Let them make that decision whether they can afford it or not. If someone was to make that decision for me, probably I wouldn't have a Thermomix today. So let them make that decision. But just think about people who you think would benefit, those who are really time poor, those who have little kids and they need to, with allergies, or, those people who are looking after their health and want to cook more from scratch. They're the people that you'd want to introduce them to Thermomix, not think of, who is going to buy, but introduce them to it, because just like you were introduced to Thermomix by a friend, that friend didn't know whether you were going to buy or not, but I'm assuming and hoping that it's made quite a difference in your life since having a Thermomix in your life. So have a think about that. So that's our host reward. Oops, here I go, old habit, trying to lift the Thermomix. So this host reward goes throughout June, and I think it's a great opportunity to get a glide board. So if you have to move your Thermomix around a lot, it is a pretty awesome deal. $150 down to $50 or $0. So yeah.
Sandra,
Is there one
sorry, I was just
go
going
for
to
it.
say, can I show you my chutney? I've just taken it out and I put it into a normal bowl.
Yeah.
So this is the coriander chutney, and it makes heaps. Sorry, I don't want to tip it out. So if you can see that, it makes heaps.
But didn't you double the recipe?
Oh, look, I did a little bit. It says 120 grams. I think I did about 300. But normally on the end of the stalk of the coriander, you know how it's a bit dirty? You just trim that bit off.
Yeah.
So that always drops it down. But on the bunches I had, that was spotless. Somebody's given them a good cut. So I used the whole lot. So I would suggest 2 to 3 bunches if you really like coriander. And because this goes good with your curries as well. And it lasts about 2 to 3 days.
we don't have it that long in our house, so I would probably try and maybe 2 or 3 days just because it's all blended up. But that's what it looks like when it comes out. And I didn't give it the full blend. I stopped at about probably had another maybe 50 seconds to go, but I think that's enough. It's still got some texture. So that's just that one. And then I'll show you how it goes into the dough in about 4 minutes when it's finished.
Awesome. We will send everyone photos of what we cook tonight. So that's usually on the email, along with links to all the recipes that we cooked. Link to the YouTube recording and to our YouTube channel as well, so you'll be able to see other cooking classes that we've done as well. Now, guys, help me out here. I can't remember the date of our face-to-face cooking class.
23rd.
So 23rd. Thanks, Helen. I was supposed to look that up before tonight's class. So on the 23rd of June, we have our first face-to-face cooking class since COVID started. It's only $30 for early bird tickets. So I'll send that link on the email as well. That's going to be held at Narellan. So there's a brewery in Narellan, and they've kindly allowed us to use their space to run this class. Seats are limited to 40. So if you're keen, hop on and register, and we'd love to see you in person. So you get to taste test everything that we cook, which is really different to what we do on Zoom. And you also pick up a lot of hints and tips from our consultants. And because it's a face-to-face, it's a 2-hour class, there's a lot more, many more consultants involved. So you learn a lot and you walk away super inspired to try the dishes that we're going to present. And the theme is winter warmers. So I think that's going to be really popular. So as winter is upon us. So 23rd of July, 7 p.m, Helen?
7 p.m.
7:30? 7 p.m, yeah. All right. So I'll send you guys a link for that as well.
Can I just show you? That's my stir fry with the 500 grams of beef. So there's plenty there, but I've just got the other lot going. That is a meal for the 4 of us, say. That's all done.
That makes a lot. And when you do layered cooking, because the Verona has 3.5 liters, you can pack a lot inside, can't you?
Well, I think it said I did because I doubled it. So technically, it was 1 carrot, 1 capsicum, some florets of broccoli, and the tin corn. So I actually put 2 carrots, and it was a big capsicum that I sliced up. The corn was fresh, so I think there was like 10, 5. It was about 15 spears of fresh corn. So that all cooked in that 15 minutes while the rice
awesome.
Was yeah, so it's already
so it makes a lot, really debunks that myth that Thermomix doesn't cook enough for large families.
I know. Hey, I'm Greek and I can vouch. It cooks for plenty.
Yeah.
So I'm done. Thank
Awesome.
you, everybody.
Thanks, Helen. Ashley, is your dish ready? I think yours will be ready by now.
Yeah, so rice is done. I've transferred it into the thermos server, and it's got a beautiful light brown tinge to it because the sauce was still in that water. It smells amazing. I've emptied the water out of the mixing bowl. We're now just going to tip all the veggies and the chicken and the sauce back in and give it a quick mix.
We live in New South Wales. It's the state.
Can I just say I snuck a piece of that beef with that ginger and garlic, and oh my gosh.
Yummy.
Yummy.
I know I'm sneaking a pork into my mouth every few minutes.
If I disappear, I'm out the back, okay?
Can I just say my dal's ready? Can I just do the last few steps quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's finished now. The last steps, it's 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So again, I don't measure. We love it really lemony. We like the tang. And these lemons have no seeds, so no risk of that. I'll do a whole lemon in there. Okay, and then when I finish with these, I actually use them to clean the microwave after I squeeze them out.
Hang on. How do you use them to clean the microwave?
So I put them in a bowl with a bit of water, put the microwave on for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the wattage. And then the last bit of juice comes out and sprays all over it. And then you just wipe it all down. It loosens up everything and it's nice and clean.
Okay, I learned something new today.
Oh,
I've never heard
before?
it. No, never.
Clean the microwave with them.
Wow.
Perfect. And
Has
sometimes
anyone else heard that before? I love that too because I use a lot of lemons. I'm so happy I have a lemon tree.
Last bit. Okay, next step. It says 1 to 2 teaspoons of the reserve coriander, but I told you how much already, quite a lot, how much we like it. So I put a couple of big spoons in. Give it a good stir with your spatula. Okay, now we're going to transfer it to our bowl that had the ghee in it, our serving bowl. And we are done. That's it. I don't know if you can see as that pours. Try not to waste the splash. That is. It still has a little bit of texture, which is what you want. You don't want it you don't want it to be like a soup where it's completely thin. And that is it. Give that a mix. I don't know if you can see that or not.
I can. That looks so good. And I know, Amanda, you make your own roti, don't you?
I do. I've been at football all night tonight, so I didn't get a chance to. But yeah, so we'll make that. Takes on Cookadoo. I use the rotis for 2. That's plenty for a family because you get 6 pieces or 6 to 8 depending on the size. And that also is really quick. Only 10 minutes to rise. Roll it in balls, cut it up, put it in the fry pan, and it's done. Beautiful. So there we go. That is all done. Tomorrow night's dinner.
Perfect dish if you love coriander.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Amanda, for sharing that dish with us. How are you going, Ashley? You finished? Do you want to show us what it looks like in the end? Ashley, you there? Hello.
Sorry, I'm here. Yeah, so that's
That looks
my
yum.
server, and that's pretty full.
So again, it makes a
quite
lot. So
yeah, and then the round one is 2/3 full of rice as well. So that one layered cooking made quite a fair bit of
makes
food.
a lot. Yeah, and that's something you could freeze as well. So if it makes too much, you can freeze it, and on a busy night, you can just take it out of your freezer stash.
Mine will be going in my freezer because I'm down 2 children at the moment, but usually that would probably be gone.
That would be, for the 6 of you. Yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. All right, guys. Well, my team, don't forget to take photos before you eat this with your family. Make sure you've got some photos so I can send it off to everyone, and keep a lookout for your emails tomorrow. So I'll do that tomorrow. Also, just one more thing. We are looking for consultants to join our team. So if you've ever thought about, having a little bit of a side hustle, earning some extra income, sharing the Thermomix love, please get in touch because we'd love to have you join our team. And I can give you all the information about that, or get in touch with your consultant as well and just get her feedback about what she how she feels about being a Thermomix consultant. She or he. We've got a lot of he's as well. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us tonight. It was great having you on. We, at the moment, don't have any forward bookings for classes, but it's something that I'm going to work on in the next couple of days. Just been a bit busy lately. So we're going to put together some more classes for you, Zoom classes. We do have that face-to-face on the 23rd of June, so people look out for that one. But yeah, I'll send you the information, new classes on email as well. So feel free to join us on Zoom from the comfort of your home. So thank you again for joining us, and have a great week and stay warm. Bye everyone. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye. Broccoli.
Yep, Catherine, come to the face-to-face. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll send you the information for that. So, and it's just down the road from you, which is good.
No, me.
Oh. Ash, they're enjoying dinner.
Yeah, they said it's good.
Now too.
Awesome. That's probably their second dinner now.
Yeah.
See you all.
Oh, bye, Helen. Thanks so
easy
much.
chocolate chip cookies for
Enjoy your
lunches, and
dinner. Sorry, what were you saying, Ash?
I made their easy chocolate chip cookies to put in school lunches, and they were eating them while I was videoing. So I don't know how much food they're going to eat now.
Oh, that's
They were
so
stealing
funny.
them
It's like,
off-
Mum's
stealing them off
busy. We're gonna have chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, they're stealing them off the cooling rack on the other bench.
Oh, that's hilarious. I saw you were busy, so I went for it.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Oh. All right, guys. I'll send you
Thanks,
some pictures.
Amanda.
That's all right. See you guys.
Bye.
Send us a photo.
I will. See ya.
Enjoy your dal.
Oh, that's tomorrow night's dinner. We've already done it. Dusted.
Isn't that great? I know I've got tomorrow night's dinner sorted. It's so cool.
So easy. And it's so cheap. It's cheap too. You don't need to get a takeaway. We would go and quickly buy
Yeah.
takeaway if we're running late.
Try it. It's really yummy.
I know. Like the other day, we got Chinese takeaway, and it cost $40 for 2 things.
Yeah, it's
2
ridiculous.
things
Bamboo.
and some fried rice. That was
Yeah.
all.
Isn't that bad?
I'm like, oh,
Yep, eat
I
it.
know. I could have whipped something up.
No. But we
yeah,
do it for
anyway.
convenience sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes, once in a while, it's good. Why not?
Wow.
All right, well, have a great evening, guys. Thanks again for presenting. You're awesome.
There's probably none left now.
All good.
Have a
See you
good week.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
My second batch of pork is ready.